Alright, I haven't actually seen the full set list. I'm kind of going into this knowing a few of the cards, but oh well. I think I'll start off first of all with the Dartrix from the Rowlet evolution line. Obviously, new United Wings Pokemon, we haven't had one since what, Paldea evolved? When the United Wings concept came out. It makes it a lot, what's it? United Wings a lot better into Charizard, it's got a grass type attacker now. I think some lists in Japan have been playing like a one-off Rowlet, or two Rowlet, just so they can attack with the Dartrix to improve their Zard matchup, although I still don't think it's very good, just because, well, like the Zard matchup, just because Zard's now got Dusknoir, which I'll get onto in a minute. It just makes it so much better. And for this video, I'm going to be using, Poke Collector to view the set. Alright, okay, that's just not loading. But yeah, United Wings, if you're unaware, it's similar to old concepts like Night March, and if you played a few formats ago, Mad Party, essentially the same thing. And we've only had 3 United Wings attackers for over a year now, and now we've finally got a 4th one. So we'll be able to hit upwards of 320 damage, I want to say, without weakness, and of course you can hit weakness with electric types with Wattrel, dark types with, we can hit the dark type weakness with Murkrow, which go into Gardevoir. Wattrel will be really good into the new Palkia deck, which if you want me to do a Stellar Miracle set review, which I'll probably do, look out for that. And now we've got Dartrix to help in the Zard matchup, so it will definitely it'll be like a weakness box kind of thing, which I think is quite interesting. Tapu Bulu, probably pretty good in GLC. 4 energy, 220, one-shots anything in GLC, basically. Putting in some of the Wailords in GLC for water. I don't know how good the grass matchup is into water, but I'd imagine this would help quite a bit, especially with Rillaboom and Venusaur. Be pretty good. What else we got? Kingdra. Kingdra is an interesting one, I think, for sure. It's probably I've had a lot of Kingdras recently, or in the past few years, and none of them have been good. Until this one, which is actually alright when it loads. It's first attack for 1 water. You get to put 3 water Pokemon from your discard pile onto your bench. That's obviously really good. You can get like another 2 Kingdras, Baxcalibur. The second attack's got Hydro Pump. Does 50 for each water energy, 50 plus 50. You can load up 6 water energy, one-shot basically anything. It's nice beefy 310 HP, only 1 retreat cost, which is nice. It's weak to lightning, bad into Iron Hands obviously, but I mean, Palkia's bad into Iron Hands. That's going to look like a really good deck with Stellar Miracle. And there are lots of other Kingdras as well. I won't put up a picture, but there's one that I think it's got the Seething Currents ability. It means so you can pick either player, and they can shuffle their hand into the deck and draw 4. So you can make your opponent do this, or you can make you do this. So you can get that up with the King's Order, trying to do a turn 2 King's Order, turn 3, load everything up. It could be pretty interesting. I can definitely see this doing well. Alright, let's see what else we got. Especially if more water type stage 2s or stage 1s come out in the future. It's mostly going to be paired with powerful stage 2s, because stage 1s aren't too difficult to get out, stage 2s can be, and they're vulnerable to things like TM Devo. Well, yeah, this deck's actually quite weak to TM Devo, because it's got, if they TM Devo, you just lose all your attackers, basically. So that is a downside there. This Weavile, I've seen, it's interesting. I won't click on it. Oh. Right, there we are. Yeah, I can't remember what the Weavile does. I think it's discard. I think it says discard all energy, and it paralyzes your opponent's active. Could be interesting. Something like Palkia. Could throw like a 1/1 or a 2/2 in Shampoo. It's interesting. I think I don't think it'll be very good, but something that I know won't be good is Revavroom. If you think this deck is good, just go home. Like it's not. It won't be good. It might be like a funny meme deck. But its first attack, Accelerator Flash, 20 plus if it moved from the bench to the active. I think it's plus 120. It's, if you remember from last format, Rapid Strike Urshifu. The first attack, Gale Thrust, it's the same thing essentially. Rapid Strike Ursula was mainly known for the other attack, G-Max Rapid Flow, and now it's broken. Obviously we've had that reprinted with Greninja, but this Rev Room's pretty crap, honestly. And the second attack for 3 metal, 250, not even 280. And you shuffle this Pokemon and all cards attached back into your deck. So you got to load 3 energy up onto it to not one-shot most V-Stars or anything relevant, not like no stage 1s or most stage 1s, no V-Stars, no stage 2s, and you get rid of it. All your work just gone. So yeah, it's pretty crap. Something that isn't crap, though, is the new Dusknoir line. Now, as I mentioned with the United Wings, Dusknoir gets a new evolution line in this. I can't remember the last one. I think it was Brilliant Stars. It's the last Dusknoir evolution line. And that was pretty crap. But this one is good, finally. It's really good. Duskull, nothing too special. Put 3 Duskulls from your discard pile to your bench. It's alright, I guess. But you're usually going to be playing this as a 2-1-1 line in something like Charizard or Dragapult, and you'll see why. So Dusclops has got the Cursed, and Dusknoir have got the Cursed Blast attacks, and they read, so you can knock them out, so you give your opponent a prize, but you can put, for Dusclops, you put 5 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. Now, this is not like Sableye, where you can spread them, or Dragapult. It's 5 to 1. You can't spread it out. But it's still insanely good. And Dusknoir, instead of 5, it's 13. So you can knock out things like Radiant Greninja, Walking Wake, like the regular one in Ancient Box, but Barrel. You can knock out quite a bit with this. And the main reason why it's seeing play is because with Charizard, its first attack, it does more damage for how many prizes your opponent takes or has taken. So say if you use a Curse Blast, you're doing 210. Say if you do it turn 2, you can do up. Say if you evolve your Duskull into a Dusclops, use Curse Blast, you're doing 210 with a Zard, providing one of your Pokemon was knocked out last turn. And then plus the 50, you're doing 260, turn 2. If you Rare Candy into Dusknoir, or you TM Evo into it, you can do upwards of 340 damage that turn 2. It's mad. So yeah, Dusknoir, really good. Also good in Dragapult. Yeah, I don't think you'll see as much play in Dragapult, just because it's quite inconsistent. And Dragapult's already not the most consistent deck, because you've got to squeeze Energy Accelerators, Pidgeot, Dragapult, maybe Zato, and then maybe a 1-1 Barrel. It will be quite difficult to fit in Dragapult, but it will be really good. Next we got Cresselia. Cresselia, good in GLC, I think. It's 3 Psychic, 80 plus flip, turn one of your face down prize cards up. And it does if you do another 80, 160, 3 Psychic. Look at face down prize card, that's pretty good. Sylveon. Now most people would probably look away from this, but it could be pretty good in something like the new Sylveon EX that got announced a few weeks ago. For one, because there's a new Eevee that allows you, if it's in the active spot, you can evolve it on your first turn. So you compare it with this Sylveon, which for 1 Psychic, flip a coin, if heads, you pick one of your opponent's bench Pokemon and shuffle it, and all cards attached into the deck. So it's similar to the Sylveon EX's, like Stellar Attack, but that's not on a coin flip, and it's 2 bench Pokemon, but it's an odd attack cost. So I could see people throwing a one-off of this in Sylveon EX. I don't think it'll be that good, but it still could be something. The other one of 1 Psychic, 2 Colorless, 90, and it confuses your opponent's active. Not bad. Could put it like a DT or something. Next, we got Blood Moon Ursaluna. Now, this is a very interesting card. It's kind of a reprint. Its ability is similar to Galarian Moltres, Zapdos, and Articuno, the single prizer ones from Sword and Shield. I think it was Chilling Reign, where when you bench it, you can attach 2 energy from your hand to it. It's 2 fighting energy for this. And its attack for 2 fighting and a colorless does 100 plus 30 for each damage counter on your opponent's active. Now, the obvious partner for this, I think most people were thinking, is Iron Valiant. It is. There have been other ones like Frostless Monkey Dory. They haven't seen as much play because when you pair it with Valiant, you can you can Tachyon bits like 2-3 times. Then you can bench the Ursaluna, attach energy, attach a jet, put it into the active, and go for like 340 turn 1. It's pretty mad. I think I'll definitely be trying it. I might make a video on it if anyone wants to see that. It's definitely got some potential. Also, could be good in something like Raging Bolt. Give it like a better single prize attacker over something like Sandy Shocks. Also gets energy into play a lot quicker because you can just bench it, put 2 energy on it. Otherwise, something like Sandy Shocks or Ogerpon, you've got it's 1 energy for each ability. So it could be interesting. Next, we've got Crobat. This is interesting. I don't think it's amazing, although it should be really good in GLC, especially if you're running a Poison GLC deck, like Poison Dark one, like mine. Because it's for 1 Dark, 1 Colorless, 120, and your opponent's active is poisoned, and then during Pokemon Checkup, take 2 damage counters instead of 1, I think. And its ability is, once during your turn, if you play Janine's Secret Technique, I want to say. That's the name of the card, or Secret Art. Draw 2, you have 8 cards in your hand, which is a very good effect. It's like the barrel, but better. Although you have to play Janine each turn, which can make it more inconsistent, plus it's stage 2. I think that there could be some kind of Crobat box coming out. Could be interesting, but I don't think it'll be too good. I think it'll mainly find its home in GLC. Zoroark is pretty cool. It's similar to Gallade or Dynablade Gallade from Chilling Reign, in where it does 60 times 60, or 60 times for each of your opponent's EX and V in play. For two colorless, touch like a DT on, be good in something like Raging Bolt, what else? Regidrago, maybe something like Zard. They could have I mean, it won't be too good into Zard, but maybe the new Dark Box deck, which we'll get onto in a sec, or like the Ogie Dogie deck. It could be interesting. I think it'll be a nice anti-meta rogue deck. Might give it a go. Next, we got one of the bigger decks, or probably the best full deck in the set, is the Ogie Dogie, with all of his friends, the Loyal 3 plus Petron. Ogie Dogie for 1 color, 6 depth for 2 dark, attach it to it, poisons it. It's not bad. It's although it's kind of leaving a liability in the active, don't really want that. But second attack's a lot better. For 2 dark and a colorless, does 130 plus if you're poisoned, there's another 130. 260 plus poison. You can poison it, things like Brute Bonnet. But the main new way is Petron and Janine's Secret Technique, or Art even. I'll get onto Janine in a sec. Petron lets you switch one of your dark Pokemon from the bench to the active. I think, and it poisons it. It might be Dark EX, Dark Pokemon EX. But yeah, it's you could also slot this into something like Zard. Play a Binding Mochi, which buffs your damage by 40 if you're poisoned. Could be something interesting. Could help the Snorlax matchup. But yeah, so those two, pretty good pair. You got the new Monkey Dory EX, not as good as the regular Monkey Dory, but its ability essentially means it's a single prizer, and its attack for, I want to say, 2 dark and a colorless, does 190, can't attack next turn, I think. It's alright. I mean, you could throw it as like a one-off, as like a single prizer. But I think the best out of these 4 is by far the Phasmidipity. It's a reprint of Oricorio GX from Sun and Moon, where if one of your opponent or one of your Pokemon was knocked out during your last turn, draw 3 cards. It's that, essentially. You can use it at any point in the turn, and its attack's usable in any deck, because 3 colorless, and it's 100 damage snipe, which is decent. Manaphy's rotating soon, so decks are going to have to start playing something like Rabsca, so it could be harder to set up. Some decks might just cut it completely. Which means stuff like this and Greninja EX could be decent. I mean, you can put this in a Zard deck. You can turn 2 bench snipe for 100. It's not bad, but it's not amazing, but the ability definitely carries. 1 retreat cost, it's just a good card. Most decks will play it now, I think. Genesect, it's got the Ace Nullifier ability. So where if it's got Tool attached, your opponent can't play any ace specs from their hand, which is kind of it's all right. It won't. It's a bit techy to put in. I think it's like because your opponent could just attach one, like say with legacy energy, they can just odds are if your opponent's playing legacy, it's either something like Arceus, which they could just attach turn one, or Lugia, where they can just attach it from the deck. Where so it's not amazing. It's mainly to stop off things like Prime Catcher and Unfair Stamp, but you could just Lost Vacuum the tool on it, then play it, and it kind of just defeats the whole purpose of it. Also, it doesn't stop things like if you attach a tool like a maximum belt or hero escape a turn prior, it doesn't turn off the ability of the ace spec. So it could be interesting if something like Unfair Stamp gets a bit silly. Maybe when Lost Vacuum rotates, it could be a bit better. But I think for now it's a bit too techy. Copperaja is good. Copperaja EX. Haxorus and Curum broken. It's both of them are going to be played in Regidrago. Curum could be played in loads of things, although I'd probably just see it in Regidrago. Maybe some decks that lose quite bad to Lost Box because its ability. If your opponent's got Chorus in their discard, it can attack for a 1 colorless, and its attack, which would usually be 2 auto, 2 meta, and a colorless, do 110 to 3 your opponent's Pokemon. But if they got Chorus in their discard, you can attack for a colorless. Also, it discards all the energy when you use it. So for 1 colorless, you can do 110 to 3 opponent's Pokemon, and then discard an energy, essentially. It's really good. And then with Regidrago, you don't have to have your opponent doesn't have to have a Chorus in the discard, because you can just copy attack, discard, Fire, or Fire Grass, and just snipe 3 opponent Pokemon. It's really good. Moving on to the colorless, nothing special. Let's move straight on to the trainers. All the ace specs are pretty crap. Neutralization zone's a lot better. I mean, it's better. It's better than the other two. The other two are crap. It essentially gives all of your single prize Pokemon a Mimikyu, I think. Which is alright. Or Mimikyu from Paldean Evolved. Same ability, but as an ace spec, but you can just bounce it, Lost Vacuum it. It's not amazing. Janine's Secret Art, search your deck for 2 Dark Energy and attach a Dark Energy to your basic Dark or just Dark Pokemon, I can't remember. And if you attach it to the active, it poisons it. It's pretty good, especially in that Okie Dokie deck. Chorus's Tenacity, search your deck for I think it's a Special Energy and a tool or a Stadium and a tool. I think it's Special Energy and a Stadium, actually. Still really good. You can get things like Double Turbo, Neo Upper. Really good. Stadiums like Beach Court, Town Store, Collapse Stadium, Jamming Tower. It's a pretty good card. You can see it's like a 1-off, maybe 2. Cassiopeia. You can only use this card if it's the last card in your hand. Search your deck for 2 cards, reel it, put it into your hand, shuffle your deck. Alright, I guess. What else we got? Binding Mochi. If this Pokemon is poisoned, it does 40 more damage. It's pretty good. You could use it in Zard if you put in like a 1-off Pecharon. If stall matchups start to get a bit annoying, you can obviously put it in the Okie Dokie deck, do like 300, 310 damage turn 1. Really good. Nightly Stretcher. It's put a Pokemon or a basic energy from your discard into your hand. It's just good. It's similar to Rescue Stretcher, but more versatile, I think. Zerosix, that card, Zerosix. It's similar to Hand Trimmer, but it's down to 3 instead of down to 5. I think people are worrying about it a bit too much. It won't be that big. Hand Trimmer, no one played Hand Trimmer. No one plays Hand Trimmer. It will be crap. Power Glass, I think if it's attached, I think it like at the end of your turn, it attaches an energy from the discard to it, or to the Pokemon it's attached to. It's alright, I think. There's a gold one in this set or the next set. Yeah, there's a gold one. It's quite cool. The A-Specs, Dangerous Laser. It just poisons your opponent's active. It's crap. Pokevital A. Heal 150 from one of your Pokemon. Seems good, but you can't recover it from your discard, so it's kind of crap. These are some of the secret rares. They're always pretty cool. Gold Earthen Vessel. Gonna be very sought after, I think. And yeah, I think that's the set. Honestly, I think it's a pretty good set for playability by special set standards. And yeah, all right.